Hi everybody, welcome back to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm joined this week by the inimitable Ben Mankiewicz, the TYT. You know him, right? The host of What the Flick and the Sports and on AMC. It's everywhere. So this week we're talking about David Gregory, ladies and gentlemen. And he was interviewing on the Meet the Press last Sunday, Governor of Virginia, McDonnell, right? And David starts off with a great question right away.
Governor McDonnell, look, the charge is that Romney's in a position where he'll say anything he has to close the deal. Yeah,
that's the charge that Romney was willing to say. That's the charge. Not the observable fact that a newsman made. That's just the charge. I don't know if it's real or not. I haven't checked it out. I'm only the host of Meet the Press. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't know if it's really true. That's the charge.
It's the charge. It's 30 years now of journalists couching what should be a good question in the form of, some people say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people say. So there's the charge. Mitt Romney's willing to say anything to get elected. Governor McDonnell of Virginia has this to say.
That's nonsense. You know, Bill Clinton said at the convention nobody could have possibly fixed these problems in 4 years. I think Bill Clinton said some things he doesn't believe. He did it, working with Newt Gingrich in a Republican Congress.
Oh, yeah. I think we all remember how Bill Clinton worked so well with the Republican Congress that they shut down the government and impeached him. Remember that?
Yeah, but
Do we remember that?
They were just goofing around.
Yeah, they were just, but they were really all buddies. They were really all getting on. See, that's this thing of Barack Obama is divisive and he doesn't work with Republicans well. We worked with Bill Clinton to balance the budget, but they never mentioned the part where, and we tried to impeach him. In fact, we did impeach him, and we shut down the government. Those were two losses for the Republicans, by the way, because Bill Clinton stood up to them. Turns out people like rational people better than crazy wingnuts, right?
I like also how Governor McDonnell makes the point that Bill Clinton worked with the Congress and got stuff done when he says nobody could have fixed these problems in 4 years, because this current recession and the economic devastation that we experienced in 2007, 2008, people often refer to it as comparable to the Great Depression of 1992. Right? Yeah.
Ah, very nice, Ben. Yes, yes. So they're saying not really analogous, what Bill Clinton went through?
Maybe. No, some people might say that it's not analogous,
okay.
Jimmy.
So David Gregory has even more to say. He's going to turn on his journalism. He's going to turn a little journalism on for us right now.
The White House is saying one thing, the State Department another. The White House saying the intelligence community gave them this information, kind of distancing themselves from that. This was an attack on 9/11 that killed our ambassador. Is it sloppy, the way it's being handled?
It's nice to see David Gregory trying to make up for all those questions he didn't ask during the first 9/11. Right? That's basically what's happening. Like, oh, we're on this Libya thing, right? Sure, the first 9/11 killed 3,000 people, and this one killed 4, but I am all over this one. We are really going to hold the administration's feet to the fire.
Also, there's just the basic argument that not something that he can't put his finger on anything that actually went wrong. So it's just the vague, sloppily handled.
Yes.
Which is not even a real thing.
That's right. Sloppily handled. Not that they were deficient in the way they said. Did they have proper security, or was this? No, we're sloppily handled.
Right.
That's all this is about.
Turns it into a political game.
Yes.
Like, there are legitimate questions to ask about security. Were the security asked for before, and did they not come? Those are legitimate. That's, of course, not the question that he's asking.
It's nice to see, though, David Gregory dig even deeper in his quest to legitimize Romney's foreign policy talking points. Isn't it nice?
It is.
That's basically what he just did.
That's
okay,
right.
So we got some more.
I think Americans typically, when we're attacked, we rally together. We don't use it for political reasons. And as a veteran, I feel very strongly about that.
Isn't that nice? Now, there's a guy who understands you don't politicize foreign policy, right? These are real, because he's a veteran. He understands that the only time that you're probably allowed to politicize attacks on Americans is if you're Romney and your campaign is flailing. Then it's okay.
Then it's okay.
Right?
It's an obvious exception.
And especially if the economy's improving. That's when you definitely have to politicize the foreign wars. But it's nice to see him saying that he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it is. It's refreshing to see a Republican not engage in that sort of behavior.
I think it's great to see Americans rally together. You don't use an attack for political reasons, unless you're Bush and then you make a catastrophic failure, seem like something really good.
That's right.
Let's remember, George Bush ran on 9/11 so hard you'd think he prevented it. Okay, he's got line. Okay, so now he says he's not going to. McConnell, he's a veteran. He really feels strongly you don't politicize foreign wars like this, and here's what he has to say next.
However, it does raise a couple larger questions.
However.
Right. I would never do it.
However,
yeah.
The president is black. He's still black, right? Okay, so maybe we. So you're not going to do stuff like say we question whether we were prepared.
Were we properly prepared?
But you're not going to go into saying that somehow Obama's policy made us weaker and people think we're weaker now. You're not going to.
Administration's foreign policy in the Mideast helped somehow to contribute to an appearance of weakness of the United States of America, less secure, less strong foreign policy, weaker military, so that we're more susceptible to being attacked.
There you go. See, you don't politicize foreign attacks, unless you're Governor McDonnell and you're a veteran, and then you get to politicize foreign attacks.
What kind of jackass? Also, if you're going to make this point, who smiles this much making this point?
No
Did
kidding.
Maybe it give the sense that America was weak?
Yeah. America's weak. Look at us with our shaded glasses laughing. By the way, our glasses aren't supposed to be shaded. That's just the way it works out today. And, I like how, having said all that patriotic crap about not politicizing foreign wars, I'm now going to pivot and, just pretend like Obama's the worst guy in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, why even bother with that first, why waste everyone's time with that first 7 seconds where we made to think just for a brief moment that you might not engage in this behavior?
Yeah, you might be you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm against doing this thing that I'm about to do right now. I think it's so low. As a veteran, I think this is horrible. Watch how I do it.
It's like when someone starts a sentence off with all due respect.
Yeah.
You
or
know,
look.
yeah.
When they say, look.
Right.
It's like, what's your position on abortion? Look. No, you don't have to say look.
Yeah.
You just tell me what your position is.
Right. With all due respect, you look great today. That doesn't happen. Yeah.
And I like how Governor McDonnell makes it seem like, Obama as if an all-out war in the Middle East isn't a good thing. That's the way he makes it seem. Let's just have a war. Let's be tough.
Also, I don't know. Look, I'm not I'm not in the military.
You're not.
And I am not a criminal investigator.
Did you ever kill a man with a bayonet?
I never killed, no, with a bayonet, no.
Okay.
But I don't know, when an attack like this happens somewhere, I don't know, my hunch is it's a little difficult to investigate and might take a little time. God forbid we didn't have an answer 8 minutes after the attack as to exactly what the criminals had plotted.
Well, I don't get what this whole big furor over the Benghazi, Libya. First of all, it was a consulate. It wasn't our embassy, right? So it's not going to have the same.
It was not in Tripoli, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even in, so there's that. And then they waited a year after the first 9/11 to even appoint a commission to investigate. Where were all those questions that now, it's not even 2 weeks old, and we want answers now.
Also, the FBI, they can't get to the site.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're
can't even investigate it.
They're working on it. Let's just, there'll be an answer, and I'm sure the Republicans will get to fire somebody afterward, which is what they want to do.
And it's nice that David Gregory follows right along with their talking points that he disallows. Okay, this is important because they're saying it's important? Well, okay, it's important then. And just like after 9/11, it wasn't important, so it wasn't important to ask any questions.
No, of course not. Right.
Okay.
Real very quickly, though, because, they want Susan Rice, the UN ambassador, fired because she's the one who went out there and said that it may have had to do with the movie. And I wish she hadn't said that because I'd like them to be saying then what Hillary is saying now, which is, we don't know. We're working on it.
Oh, okay.
We got the CIA there. We got the FBI there. We're investigating.
Okay.
But we don't live in a country where that's acceptable. We got to have an answer right then because, you know what? Soledad O'Brien's show is about to be on, and we got to have an answer right fucking now.
We need an answer right now, Ben, because it's not important.
Right, that's right.
If it was really important, we can't, this is no time to be pointing fingers.